Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Golden Ratio Podcast. I am Jen, GR Mom, joined as always by GR Dad.
Hi.
How's it going, GR Dad?
Pretty good.
Excellent, excellent. The cocktail of the week this week is the Velvet Buccaneer.
I like it.
It's a good name.
I like Buccaneer for pirate. I think it's a good word. Very active.
It is high-proof whiskey, velvet falernum, allspice dram, and limes. And ginger ale.
I'd like to be high proof. I think it'd be good to be high proof.
You're maybe high-proof.
Sounds aspirational.
Yeah.
I'm aspiring to be high proof.
What would you say your current proof is?
Pretty low. I'm not very spicy.
I mean, if we just go by like the alcohol that goes into, you're probably pretty high proof, actually.
Well, yeah. It just doesn't all stick.
I think that's good for your health.
I think my liver is high proof. That doesn't make me high proof.
That cocktail was a little too sweet for me. You got the whole thing.
I want to be flammable, so high proof that I'm flammable.
We could test that. I could try to light you on fire.
That's a terrible test. Yuck.
I mean, why would you want to be flammable if not but to be lit on fire?
I know you have a blowtorch in the kitchen, so this is like a real problem. You could have enough for this demonstration. I don't want to be lit on fire. Thank you very much.
I'm taking this class to become certified as an EMT, which is like a fun time. And today they were talking about like different dangers at different scenes. And so they're talking about if you respond to a fire and what are the major safety threats at a fire. And one of them was high ambient temperatures.
I do like the part where what is one way to tell conclusively if someone's dead? Yeah,
they're like, sometimes you're going to be called to a scene and with a report of a dead body. And, you want to be really careful to like generally treat the patient unless it's very clear that they're dead. There are a few definitive ways to tell if they're dead. One of them would be decapitation. And I was like, does that happen enough that it deserves a bullet point in the PowerPoint presentation?
Also, it's just so... I understand why everything needs to be said, but does it need to be said? Is someone going to actually... This is getting really dark. Is someone going to provide medical treatment to the head? That seems really dark. Really dark.
I mean, like, you got to remember, like, you can become an EMT with a 3-month course when you're 18 years old. All you need is a high school diploma.
Oh,
so
18-year-olds.
You think
always,
about like 18-year-old high school graduates not interested in going to college. And look, I like not talking down EMTs. I was married to one once, and lots of firefighter EMTs.
Bad
like
example.
It's a great job.
Bad example.
He was also a student at the University of Chicago, though. So like smart dude, but you could also have like a very not great 18-year-old, like just out of high school with no ambition, who can do 3 months of training and become the guy who's going to save you in a car crash or try.
I don't mean no ambition. It's like no judgment. I mean, you're young. And
have you met any 18-year-olds? Because I meet a lot of them.
No. That actually tracks now. Yeah, it all makes sense.
Well, I'm doing very well in this class. It won't surprise you.
Well, you didn't sell it very well with that intro. You're better than many 18-year-olds. Good job.
This is a low bar.
Good job.
I am taking like my master's capstone class at Harvard and then also this 3-month EMT course. You needed something?
My sound effects.
Oh, and they're in the other room.
Oh, you're just so convenient.
Anyway, okay. So, hey, Velvet Buccaneer is a good cocktail. If someone's been decapitated, you can also be quite certain that they're dead.
That sentence did not need to be the same sentence. That's all I'm saying.
It's time for Administrative Corner.
I love Administrative Corner. It seems like 14 weeks since we did this podcast, by the way. I'm just saying. I think I've aged. Everyone has aged.
You're older than you've ever been.
You look great, but Thanks. Everyone else is freaking old.
Okay, so I do have one Administrative Corner item that I would like to defer to dog updates because it depends on a dog update.
I would like to introduce, and probably a rambling, but I
go
cannot
ahead.
let Administrative Corner pass.
Mm-hmm.
You did an amazing job of paw printing, paw prints, putting dogs' paw prints on pieces of paper over the last few days. It's just been a factory. You're very good at this factory. Ford would have hired you in the 1900s.
I mean, I worked on an assembly line in a factory from the time I was like 14 until like through college.
Yeah, I mean, it's clearly you have that mindset, and I clearly do not.
Yeah, it's remarkable, like how I have a very efficient, like get the shit done process, and yours is
I'm
careful.
like, I think I'd like to make the perfect paw print. This should look like the fingerprints at the FBI lab, and then, it never is. It's a smudge, and Venk's like, I'm gonna lick it, and then it doesn't work, and you're just like, no, it's not gonna look like the fingerprints in the FBI lab, but I need to do 800 of these. So let's move it along. And I'm like, I've done 2. And you're like, I've done 200.
I appreciated your help. You did a couple hundred this weekend. We did 1,000 total.
Yeah.
For Honest Dog Books.
My plan of using all 4 feet does not
work.
Worked. Well, maybe with 2 of us it would have worked, but each of us individually, we can't control all those paws. They're all over the place. Paws flying all over the place.
So, fun diversion, maybe. When I got my first security clearance background check, they fingerprint you, and I had to go to the campus police station to get fingerprinted because it was like
I did that for my bar exam thing. Yep.
Yeah. And they had not yet made the switch to digital fingerprint scanners at the time, so I got ink fingerprinted.
Same.
Well, you're old and I'm not, and so
mine was for law school. Well, I guess it's
you're
about the
still
same. Yeah, you were in kindergarten. I know.
What year did you get this done?
I don't want to know.
I'll tell you what grade
I don't want to do this.
Was it
math.
1990?
I don't want to do this math.
I was in 6th grade.
This is not good. Well, you could have been doing your security clearance in 6th grade. It's possible. Freaking, you were.
Remind me of this
child progeny.
When we're done with the podcast, I have a story for you about a 6th grader. It's somebody else's story. I don't think they listen to the podcast, but I don't want to tell it to everybody. Maybe we'll put it in a bonus pod for the subscribers.
Okay.
But I'm not. But remind me because it's a good story.
Anyway, it occurs to me that I'm in the national fingerprint database just because I took the bar.
Yeah.
And to get licensed, you have to get fingerprinted.
So when I got fingerprinted for my background check, for my security clearance, I went to the university police station. You get a little card. They took my fingerprints and they're like, go ahead and go in and wash them off. Wash the ink off your hands.
Yeah.
I got fucking fingerprints on everything. The soap dispenser, the wall, the sink.
What were you doing?
I was just
dancing.
I was just trying to open the door, pump the soap onto my fingers. The soap did not wash off the fingerprint stuff at all. And then I was trying to rub it off with the brown paper towels, and all it would smear it a little bit. I mean, I just left everywhere, hundreds of fingerprints in the bathroom at the police station. Obviously, 1, they knew it was me because it's not like they're doing a lot of fingerprinting, and 2, my fingerprints were there, so they could have easily found out. I was so embarrassed, and I was like, there's nothing I can do about this. I'm just making it
You were
worse.
Applying for security clearance, but you didn't know how hand washing worked?
Top secret security clearance.
Actually, that tracks. A lot of these nerdy high security people don't know how to wash their hands.
I knew how to wash my hands.
You wet your hands.
Oh my God.
Then you put a lot of soap on there.
This is not soap soluble ink.
Then you rink it up. Ow! You think they were pranking you, telling you to go wash it off?
Oh my God, they 100% could have been.
They might have been. They're like, now we have to clean the bathroom again, but it was totally worth it.
That poor undergrad was all panicky.
Did you see her big eyes?
Anyway.
All right, Joe, we're going to have to clean the...
Go get the acetone.
Carol, clean the women's bathroom again.
Oh my God.
We sent someone in there again.
Anyway, we did 1,000 paw prints this weekend for Honest Dog. They are frantically packing up. They sent me a picture actually of the palette of the Purest Bond books. It's a whole palette.
I am so pleasantly surprised that this is scalable, right? That this small bookshop in Wisconsin is able to handle this massive order, because all you hear about is like these like these startup companies where they're like they have an explosion in demand and all of a sudden they can't handle it, right? Like the internet guys, and then the server crashed and we couldn't handle it, or there wasn't enough felt in the world and we couldn't supply the balls or whatever. So they're doing a great job. The logistics are solid over there.
Yeah, they got a whole team like drawing the little cartoon dogs on the packages, and they put in paw prints and bookmarks.
And
into
it's
the
all
book.
hand work. It's not. This isn't stickers. This is them working hard. I love those guys.
Yeah, they're great.
So good.
They're great. I'm just thrilled with it. They're doing a great job. Some people have started getting their books early.
Wow. How?
Because, the bookstores get them before release date, right? So they can have them stocked and everything.
Is that legal?
Yes.
I mean, is it supposed to happen?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. Never mind.
I know.
Why am I asking you this on the air? I don't know.
It was all coordinated. Like they coordinated with the publisher to make sure they like got their shipment of books in time so they could get them all packed and sent. So a few people have gotten them early.
That's great.
Which is
That's
great.
like Christmas in November, which isn't that early, I guess.
It's not that early.
Christmas in July is the early thing.
Pierce Bond makes a great present for the dog lovers in your life. So maybe
it would
buy
look
a few.
so good under the Christmas tree.
That's right.
Vank
Sure
would look so good on the mantle.
Vank, your Christmas Vank.
On the Christmas decorated mantle with the little socks hanging off it, and then Vank looking derpy.
So if you want a paw printed copy of the Pierce Bond, the paw prints are technically only for pre-orders. I think with the 1,000 that we did, there will be some left over for some orders that come in at the beginning of next week, because release day is Tuesday, the 14th, next Tuesday, like 5 days from now. But if you want a paw print, you got to get it in soon, because it's not going to be like forever that we're doing paw prints. Or you can donate a copy and then you get a feta paw print. We did 400 fetas in the weekend paw printing for donors.
The thing about feta is we can do another paw print in a month. It'll look totally different.
Some of them I did like the first week we had her. So there's some little feta paw prints, and then there's some now like medium feta paw prints.
Medium looking Vankian already. She's like 40 pounds now.
Yeah, she's getting big.
She's looking like a little dog. I don't like it.
So that's Paw Prints Honest Dog Books. Book comes out Tuesday. Our current sales total is about 4,000 copies. We want 6,500 to 7,000 copies to make the New York Times bestseller list, and we have to have those in the first week of sales. So by a week from Monday, we need to sell another 3,000 copies.
What if hypothetically, like those were from 3 different credit cards to like 3 different addresses that are in Maryland or Florida or a P.O. box? What if it's like just 1,000 to each place?
1,000 each place.
Yeah,
would be fine. What's really important is that they come from a variety of retailers. So most of ours are going to come from Honest Dog, but if you were to do that,
Amazon, there's retailers,
Barnes and Noble, Target.
There's a lot of retailers that I could order on. I mean, that one hypothetically could order online from.
Yeah.
Because I'm not picking up 1,000 books from frickin' Target. That's a lot of books. I
don't think they have that many.
I don't have a truck. Well, we do have the RV.
We did get we
could get 1,000 books in the RV.
They told us the total.
I mean, hypothetically.
Oh my God. Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move on.
My grand plan, and you think it sucks. It's an investment. Speculate.
You just
gold. The drink of the week was very good.
Okay. You have anything else for Administrative Corner?
No, I'm just happy we had it. I'm just happy it took place. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. It's time for dog updates.
Excellent. Guess who's on TV?
Vank, you're on TV, Vank. So Vink and I had a big adventure yesterday. We went up to Miami last night. We stayed at a fancy hotel together, and
Did
then
she order room service again? I hate it when she does that. She just knocks the phone off and goes, "Ruff." Then omelets.
No room service.
Ah.
Okay. So we stayed at a fancy hotel. We did not order room service. And then today we went to NBC6 in Miami. And we were scheduled to go on South Florida Live, which is like their noon show, which we did. And then everybody was like, she is so cute. Do you want to stick around and do a second recording of an interview for the 4 p.m. show also? And I was like, yes, of course we would. So Vink did it. One of the followers, I think Vood's Foods, the Twitter account Vood's Foods, is in South Florida and was like live tweeting like, oh my gosh, like this show just said they were going to talk about the Pierce Bond. Like I saw the book and then like, oh my gosh, they said there's a golden retriever in the studio. Like is Vink in the studio? And then, so they were like all prepared with their cell phone and recorded their TV and got the whole interview.
Did a great job. That is better than my old TiVo.
And the best part of it, so Vink was great. I mean, it's like a 2-minute thing. But Vink was perfect. She just laid there. I pet her. The host pet her. And then at some point she like sticks her head over and licked the ankles of the lady who was hosting.
That's when she's getting comfortable.
There was a camera directly on Vink. Like most of the interview is like us talking, but it's just the camera like close in on Vink.
Just in case.
Getting pet. And then she like sticks her head over and like lick, lick, lick. Lady didn't even react. I didn't know till I watched it that she did it.
She's very profesh.
Yeah. All of it was, so it was all Vink. It was great.
She was very good with the dog though. I mean, she obviously likes dogs. She was very natural
Yes.
around Vink, not
Yep.
like fake, she's precious and like didn't touch her, but she petted her normally.
Yep. So yeah, that was a big adventure with Vink. She did great. She was kind of nervous both at the hotel and when we got to the station, but then, by the time we went on air, she was like, okay, like this is cool. Everybody's nice to me, and it was fine.
Yeah, which is stage fright. I understand. It's okay, Vink.
She did great. In other Vink news, so you guys have noticed on the snaps that she's been limping because she has her elbow dysplasia. So this week we sent her records up to VOSM, Veterinary Orthopedics and Sports Medicine in Maryland.
Or how does your Siri say it?
Siri calls it VOSM. I say, hey Siri, call VOSM. And she's like, calling VOSM.
That's terrible.
So she's going up to, so we sent it up to VOSM. And like last time we tried to do this with Hops, it took like 2 months to get anybody to even look at her stuff. I ended up like crying on the phone with the receptionist.
We lost years of our lives.
It was really bad. And I was like, well, let's get it sent. And then like literally this time they called me the next day and they're like, hey, we're here to get Vink on Dr. Leisure's schedule. And I was like, oh, Dr. Leisure did her surgery when she was like 9 months old.
Yeah.
And now she's 9 years old.
That's the same surgery again.
Same surgery, hopefully. So she's going to get a consult the week after Thanksgiving. So this is interesting. It's going to be another feat of Golden Ratio logistics for sure. Ingo's going to drive her up. He's going to take her to an appointment.
I'm the transporter. If you've ever watched those Jason Statham movies, that's me. That's me with hair.
That's right. You got great hair.
Yeah, well, but I kick as much ass.
Absolutely. So Ingo's going to drive her up. And then I have to be up there the Wednesday of that week for work stuff. So we're going to do the flight swap. Ingo takes the plane down from D.C. I get on the same plane and go back up to D.C.
Meanwhile, Vink is sleeping.
Vink's going to be there in Maryland. And I'm like, well, I'm flying up on November 29th because I have book events. I have one on campus on November 30th, and I have one at the Baltimore County Public Library in Arbutus. You said it right last time I checked. Arbutus, Maryland on Saturday the 2nd. And they kept saying like, oh, you should bring Vink up. And I was like, I am not driving 40 hours round trip with Vink just to have her at these events. And I'm like, stop bothering me. I'm not bringing Vink. And then it turns out Vink's going to actually be up there.
Because it's worth 40 hours for her knee, for her elbow.
For sure.
Yeah.
Now, will Vink be at these? It depends on, one, if she's a candidate for surgery, and two, if she is, will they be like, we can do the surgery tomorrow, in which case she'd be healing from that and will not come to the book events. Or if she doesn't get the surgery, then she will come to the book events.
Put her in a cart.
But I mean, you don't want to take a poor surgery healing dog to an event. What kind of monster are you?
We should ask Vink. She likes publicity.
She does not. She was very shy and stressed out by this.
That's true. Because she hasn't, signed any books yet.
Anyway, And then I'm going to fly back to the Keys, and Ingo's going to fly back up to Maryland, and then he's going to get Vink and drive her back down to the Keys. And then the day he gets here, I'm going to leave again for a week-long trip to...
It's like 4 drives, 6 flights.
And then I'm leaving for a week. You're going to get back, and then I'm going to like Fort Lauderdale, to Los Angeles, to Maryland, back to the Keys.
I don't like it. That part.
Oh, and then I'm going to be home for a day, and then I go to Chicago for the book event, and then back to Maryland. We're not going to see each other for almost 3 weeks.
Look, I happen to be married to a famous author, and so...
And jet setter.
I will accept this temporary absence.
The cost of fame. Price of fame.
The cost of my star effing.
Oh, my goodness.
Except I got in the ground floor before you were super famous.
Yeah, that's right.
You
You
were just
did.
slightly, a little bit locally famous.
I don't know. I think I was 0% famous when we met.
I don't know. You were famous to me.
Well, that's nice. Anyway, so that's sort of our partial administrative corner item. So Vink is getting her at least consult for surgery, which is good.
Nah, it's a dog update.
But then maybe at book events, kind of administrative corner. Yeah,
Telling you.
that's the one I deferred.
I'm loving it.
Okay. So that's the Vink update. The Feta update. One is that Feta is a fish.
A fish, a member of the squad.
A fish. We've got her
not
paper.
a fish. She's still a
Not
dog.
a fish. Oh, fish.
Oh.
Apostrophe. We got her paperwork. I'm going to fill it out tomorrow and mail it back. But, it has been announced to the rescue group that they cannot have her back. She is my dog now.
It's because Feta's not filling it out for beans. I don't know how she's going to pull her weight around her if she doesn't even want to fill out her own paperwork.
We kind of have a history with...
I've put her in front of the computer with that form 3 times, and all she does is bite me.
Well, that's on brand. Her spay is healing up nicely. Tomorrow will be 10 days, and tonight she jumped in the water. So we did a pretty good job keeping her out of the water for 9 days.
It's a blur. It's a brown blur and a splash, and then she's in the water. I mean, it's really... And it wasn't even Guac's fault. I've been trying to keep Guac from going in the water with her, so he doesn't pull her in. But I think it was Remy.
It was Remy. She and Remy were like in major play mode, and then they ran under the house, and then all of a sudden I heard a sploosh.
Remy likes to go in the water when he's hot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, well, they're both a little ungovernable. Well,
so
Feta's very ungovernable.
Let's see. Remy had his cancer check this week. You took him up to Miami yesterday.
Yep.
For cancer time. He's all stable.
Same.
Blood work looks good. Everything's basically the same.
Doctor, whom I really like, Dr. Williams, down at the
Animal Cancer Care Center.
ACCC, the Animal Cancer Care Clinic Center, is a very sort of positive, enthusiastic doctor, and she's like that. No, I have no concerns. He's doing great. There's these lymph nodes are a teeny tiny bit bigger, 1 millimeter, but the other ones are the same or maybe a little bit smaller. And she's like, the disease is just hanging out. It's like just developing really slowly as it does.
Yeah, that's great.
Yep.
And then Brody and Guac are normal. I mean, they're normal.
Brody's still
Continue to be
getting
the same.
massaged, acupuncture with electrical
With
jolts,
zaps.
and lasers. Vink's getting lasers too.
Yep.
Sometimes at the same time. One sleeps while the other gets lased. Actually, they both kind of sleep. One's getting lased, the other one's not, but they're both sleeping.
Yep.
And then they trade off, except they're both still sleeping. Although Vink actually does respond to getting her elbow lased, it's kind of uncomfortable because it is, I think, inflamed.
Yeah, it is. It definitely bugs her.
Poor Vink.
All right, so that's dog updates. Are you ready for Taste of the Keys? Or did you have a lingering dog update?
No.
Okay.
No, I think we're good. Guacaman is...
You can't say we're good and then go give more non-updates.
We're good. We're good.
Okay. It's time for Taste of the Keys.
Yes, it is.
Man arrested for theft/threatening deputies.
Whoa.
A 67-year-old Monroe County, Florida. You remember the story now?
Yes, he's not a solid citizen.
A 67-year-old Monroe County, Florida man was arrested Thursday after he threatened to kill sheriff's office deputies and their family members. Walter Frank Camp was charged with DUI, grand theft of a motor vehicle, multiple counts of threatening a law enforcement officer / officer's family, harassing a law enforcement canine, spoiler alert, possession of marijuana, indecent exposure, and resisting arrest.
I know who the canine was.
The sheriff's office observed a southbound Kia SUV on US 1 near mile marker 32, speeding and passing illegally at approximately 5:36 p.m.
Normal dinner time. Come on, guys.
Camp was identified as the driver / sole occupant of the vehicle. There was an open beer can visible, an odor of marijuana emanating from the vehicle, and Camp appeared intoxicated. Approximately 51 grams of marijuana edibles were found. Now, as we have discussed, that is not my jam, but I don't think marijuana edibles give off the odor of marijuana in a vehicle.
No,
so
they're just trained to say, here's what would constitute probable cause for a search.
Or also he smoked a bunch of pot and then got in his car.
It's all possible. The open beer can and driving like an asshole, pretty good.
The Kia was reported stolen out of Blaine, Washington, the other corner of the continental United States.
Wow, he had a road trip before he got busted.
He's a Monroe County, Florida man. So,
he went.
What the heck?
Well, that's weird.
Camp pulled down his shorts on the side of US 1 and exposed himself while being investigated for DUI.
That might make the sobriety test easier.
Camp.
He pulled down his shirt. What kind of activity is that?
I mean, maybe that's his thing. Hey, everybody.
He's 67, right?
Yep.
For Pete's sake,
maybe
people.
he's a hot 67.
Nothing in this story would indicate that he's a hot 67.
No, that's true.
He has
you
not
could
led
be,
a good
but
life.
he is not.
No, he has not had led an easy life.
Camp stated he had access to weapons such as a, quote, sniper rifle, and that he was going to kill the arresting deputies as well as their family members. Camp also threatened Canine Mako and howled at and harassed Canine Mako while in custody.
He
howled at the dog.
I'm not sure Mako was actually that bothered by some old drunk dude howling at him. I doubt that's I think he shouldn't be harassing Mako. But he just seems like he was just making weird sounds all around and dropping his trowel.
I mean, that could count too.
Which
Poor
is
Mako. She's permanently scarred.
You think it's a she?
I think Mako's a she.
Yeah? Mako?
Coral's a she. I don't know about Mako. Anyway, that'll catch you charged for harassing a law enforcement canine.
I agree that they should take this threatening anyone really seriously. So good for them.
He was taken to jail. It doesn't say that in the article, but he certainly was. He was taken to jail.
Yeah, he should be taken to jail.
Yep.
Not left around any dogs, except the jail here has all those
has a farm, animal farm.
Around. So it'd be like
harass the emu.
He tried to threaten an emu and was punched in the face.
It's time for German word of the week.
All right, my German word of the week, my German phrase of the week. It's a little bit of a, it's blau machen.
Blue doing.
Making blue.
Yeah.
It's slang for.
Is it dirty?
No. Taking the day off, or blowing off the day, or like skipping work kind of thing.
Yeah.
Blau machen.
Playing hooky.
Playing hooky. That's what I was looking for. Yes. Making blue. I don't know what the derivation is necessarily, but in German, blau, to be blau, ich bin blau, means I'm drunk.
Oh, unlike here where being blue just means sad.
No, it's not sad at all. It's just being drunk.
Yeah.
You can be happy and be blau.
What about saufen? Ich saufe
bis ich blau bin. Und dann saufe ich weiter.
So, you guys, in German, if you say ich saufe mich, you kind of mean I'm drunk. Is that a good?
Ich besaufe mich. The word saufen.
That's like I bedrunked myself.
Has to be reflexive, right? So it's you bedrunk yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
I bedrink myself.
Saufen. Drunk, to drunkify.
Yeah.
And when we were in Paris, on our ill-fated trip to Paris, where I proposed to Ingo and he told me no, and then we had 5 more days on the trip.
I hate Paris now. It's not your fault or my fault. It's Paris's fault.
There's a bunch of signs that say South.
Yes, except, yes.
And
It means except in French.
I just translated it to south, like north and south.
You did. You were like, let's go south. And it was like, that just means except trucks. No, south.
I'd be like, it's not north, it's south.
It was a great joke. It's a good running joke.
And then I think at some point you're like, south in German means like to get drunk. And so we would see those signs and then we'd be like, ich saufe mich, weil ich traurig bin. Which means like I got drunk because I'm so sad, which like also was kind of true. Not that I was getting drunk, but I was very sad because my proposal had been rejected.
It's terrible.
And I won in the end, Ingo.
That trip was terrible. We also couldn't find vegetarian friendly food, I think was also
I starved on that trip.
Paris.
The second time we went to Paris, we had a
meat.
much better time.
We had a better plan.
Better hotel, better plan for food.
Yeah. We were more in the touristy area. But the first part, it was like everything has meat in it. Even the like vegetarian salad has chicken because it's vegetarian.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a real that was stressful.
Also, we stayed at that weird hotel and like the carpet was wet and the bed like was
Why was it always wet?
Also,
it was always wet.
So we stayed at this weird kind of avant-garde hotel. The bed was like this plexiglass platform cantilevered to the wall.
Yeah,
it
there
had
was
like
no
legs
legs
under
There was
it.
nothing under the bed. It was like there were no legs, nothing.
And there was one night where we like looked out the little balcony window.
That was extreme weird.
We were like on the third floor or something.
No, we were high, I think fifth.
Were we higher than that?
Because we couldn't see anything.
And so if you looked out and straight down, there was like a hot tub in the adjoining building, and there was a heterosexual couple
I thought it was
out there.
In the courtyard. No?
There was a hot tub in the courtyard.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure the woman was paid for her services.
We had 20 minutes to analyze the acoustics.
Just watching them.
The acoustics.
Having a good time.
Did you see anything? I didn't see anything.
Oh, I saw everything.
Oh, I didn't see
You probably
anything.
were still in the bed being like moping.
I know. Why was I moping?
About me getting my proposal rejected. And I was like, I'm absolutely watching this. It was not sexy, but it was entertaining.
You were giving me a good play-by-play. I feel like I watched it, but I did not actually see anything.
I definitely saw everything. Yeah, we were staying near the Room of Tard, and they were
Which is as a recommendation, that's a rougher area than the Champs-Élysées.
Ingo loved it. He's like, it's gritty and real.
I did. I thought graffiti and smoking was cool back then.
Ingo also has a thing where he only wants to go to restaurants where there's a lot of other people. And I was like, here is a fondue place. Like, let's go to this fondue place. And he's like, no, there's nobody in there. And so we ended up at some like weird, like pseudo-Italian restaurant. I couldn't even eat the food that they brought me. It was so bad.
It was plastic menus and fake garlic cloves hanging down. I mean, it was
terrible.
It would have been terribly touristy in Italy, but it was in France.
On the Room of Tard.
My judgment was terrible then. It was really terrible. But I do have this thing where if it's empty at dinner time, I feel like A, it's a sign it's not very good. And B, it would be very uncomfortable being the only people in there. I don't know.
We should have got the fondue.
We should have done a lot of things. Should have gone to freaking Philadelphia instead of Paris.
Anyway, Saufen. There you go. A little bit of like GR history insight.
But my actual phrase of the week is Blaumachen.
Blaumachen, which was very related to Saufen.
To play hooky, yeah.
Or at least the Blau part. Okay. It's time for Ino Corner, where you can say whatever you want, and I won't comment on it.
I just think everyone's great. Everyone who follows this is great, and the power of the squad was just, the followers of the squad was just proven again because someone happened to be watching the segment, like the 2 minutes out of the day that you and Venk were going to be on TV. They watched and they taped it. That's great.
Yep.
I was frantically trying to get a channel that had it from the keys and couldn't figure it out. Like the streaming channel didn't have live.
Yeah, we don't have cable here.
Nah, and it might not have been the same feed anyway. We're not in Miami.
No, but there's no local stations. We would, if we had cable, we would get the Miami station.
I think Gwen Filosa has made it into a local station yet. She'd be good.
Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist.
I'm going to suggest it. NBC needs to have a local station.
NBC Key West.
And it should be just every half hour Gwen's updates. They can repeat some of them. I mean, she doesn't have to be standing in front of the camera for 24 hours, but
Interesting. Okay.
I would watch chickens walk around, or news
Chicken
about.
cam.
We have the powerboat races. That's like worth several segments this
Once
week.
a year, yeah.
This week. Yeah.
You could get several segments
I think
one
some
week out of the year.
powerboat's going to flip or something. This is going to be good. This is going to be
Okay.
good news. Rum. Do a whole segment on rum every week.
Rum of the day.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
I got ideas.
Let's
Gwen,
start sketching it
get in touch.
out. Anything else for Ino Corner?
Can I top that? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
All right, everybody. Well, thanks for listening. And until next time, Slava Ukraini, and don't put anyone unless they ask you to.
That's right.
Bye.
Better.